Hey guys, how's it going? It's Billy coming at you from a little bit of a different angle here today. I want to try and jump right into this because this is a long update. It's a long overdue update. We're going to throw in some vinyl. We're going to throw in some 8-tracks. We're going to throw in a handful of different things here. Some of this is stuff that was given to me. Some of this is stuff that I picked up. Looks like this previous weekend, and then some of these things are things that I had ordered, pre-ordered, new releases that had came in the mail. So without further ado, let's jump right in and start with one of my favorites, as you guys well know, Whitey Morgan in the 78s. This is their new release, Hard Times and White Lines. Outlaw country right here. Sorry for the glare, guys. And hopefully this color is turning out okay. It looks a little yellow on my iPhone screen here, but we'll see. I can probably tweak that in post editing. But anyway, Whitey Morgan and the 78s, Hard Times and White Lines. I had pre-ordered this one. It's a super super cool colored vinyl, which I should have taken that out earlier to show you, but I do want to take it out and show you guys because it's pretty cool. It's I think they build it as orange, but it's a little bit more. I mean, there is some orange to it. It's got a little marble, some orange and black splatter, or just more marble than anything. Very cool looking, especially when you get it in the right light. Very nice, heavy pressing. I'm gonna wait to do my review on this one as well. I had talked with Steve and maybe a couple of you others when this came out, like the day or two after this came out, and gave my initial, we exchanged initial thoughts on the album, which I do like, but I want to go in and I'm not going to go in and give a in-depth review or anything right now because I plan on doing that here in the next couple of weeks. But anyway, there is Whitey Morgan in the 78s, Hard Times and White Lines. Good honky-tonk, outlaw type music, country music for you there. Fantastic steel guitar as well. Kind of along those same lines, another new release that came in was Colter Wall. This is his second album. Following up his self-titled debut from last year, which was tremendous, unbelievable folk singer-songwriter stuff. Just great. This is Songs of the Plains. It is basically what it says. It's prairie songs. It's cowboy music. This is a lot more cowpoke than his last effort, which I really love. Those songs were a lot more dark and moody. These are a little bit more cowboy or cowpoke. Still decent, still like it. Nothing like the last one though. Here's another one that came in the mail. I was recently turned on to this by a couple of my friends on Facebook, and Ernest Clyde Eldridge. Shout out to Ernest. Willis Allen Ramsey. Get my tongue tied there. Willis Allen Ramsey. This is his self-titled debut and actually only album that he ever released. Unbelievable folk masterpiece of an album here. Go check it out if you haven't. It's you know, kind of along the lines as your Townes Van Zandt, your Blaze Foley, you know, stuff like that. But really tremendous album. Glad that I finally got that in perfect condition. Other than the drill hole here, this thing was a they actually had it listed as VG Plus, but it's more VG Plus for the cover due to the drill hole, but it's excellent near mint all around on the vinyl all day long. It is an original first pressing on the Shelter recording label, which has like a Superman logo, but it's actually hand marked out, which they actually did that on those first pressings. Moving right along here, we had a listening party one of our, I guess they're becoming famous or infamous listening parties here last Saturday. It was kind of an impromptu party. My wife invited a handful of her friends, and I just called up one of my buddies, and they came over. And one of my buddies showed up with a stack of records, and he's like, "Hey, I've been meaning to give these to you for quite some time." And there was some really killer stuff in here. So this next stack of records that I'm going to show you came from my buddy Matt. Thank you, Matt, for donating these to the cause. They will be greatly taken care of, which I'm sure you are already aware. Led Zeppelin 3, funny story on this one. Just an immaculate copy of Led Zepp 3. We opened this up to check it out, and I'm not incriminating anybody because I haven't really said his name. All you guys know is his name's Matt, but you don't know who, you don't know the rest of the story or the rest of the name. We opened this up, and a bag of rolling papers popped out. So he's like, "Damn, those rolling papers have to be at least 25, if not 30 years old." It was a pretty funny story. So I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. We already ran this through the spin clean, got it cleaned up real nice, played it that night. It plays flawlessly. Great copy for that. Thank you for that, Matt. Led Zepp 4 on the gatefold edition, which I have a couple of these, but this is a really nice copy as well. What we have here, Bears Best, Grateful Dead. Nice copy. This one I never can get right. AOXO, yeah, AOXO, I believe. I'm not a huge Dead fan, but it's like AOXO, MOXOA. Not familiar. I believe it's I'm not sure if this is a live album or not. Here I am showing my foolishness and my not knowing any my lack of knowledge on the Grateful Dead, but glad to have that. Did not have that in the collection. And then this was some really cool stuff. Some JFA, some Jodie Foster's Army from what, 1984? Yes, 1984. Some skate punk. I know Vinyl Rich will love this. There's a couple of you guys out there that will really dig this. Obviously not in perfect condition, but for what it is, it's in very nice condition. It's you know, I would say it's a VG bordering on VG plus, but it's a solid VG all day long. It's skate punk. You know, it's gonna have pops and cracks, things like that. It's okay. Sticking right along with that, a little Husker Du, Zen Arcade from, I think it's from 1984 as well on the SST label. Yes, SST, not sure if it is 1984, but here is the gatefold. A very nice copy again. A solid VG copy all around. Maybe VG plus on the cover. A really nice cover. It's just a shame there were no dust covers inside. I guess that's how the skate punks rolled. So there you go. Some Husker Du, Zen Arcade. These are things, this next stack that I'm going to show you is stuff that I picked up. We went up, it was my son's birthday. He's up in college, about 2.5, 3 hours away, playing football. And he hasn't had a chance to get back. So we went up for his birthday, took him out Friday night. And then he had a game on Saturday at 1 o'clock. So we got up Saturday morning, hit a few, my wife and my son's girlfriend who went up with us, hit a couple of their stores. I went and hit a couple record stores and found a few really nice things. And I didn't spend a whole lot of money, which is great. I found a lot of cheap stuff and one that wasn't so cheap. So Waylon Jennings this time. This is a really nice copy of this record that I did not have. I'm not sure if I know I didn't have one this nice. So for $5, I jumped on it. It's solid VG plus all the way around. Very good stuff. As you guys know, I've got a thing for Tanya Tucker. I think a couple of you guys in the VC do as well. This is some early Tanya that has San Antonio Stroll, which is one of my all-time favorite Tanya Tucker songs. I'm Not Lisa, When Will I Be Loved, Son of a Preacher Man, just really, really, really good stuff by Tanya. I think that was like $4. Most of this stuff was $4 or $5. And then a later release from Tanya, Love Me Like You Used To. This is probably from '86, if I'm not mistaken, but one of her harder ones to find around here, especially. Really nice, nice copy. Good addition to the collection. Another late country, probably club issue, more than likely from 1987, I believe. Kenny Rogers. They don't make them like they used to. This is a sealed copy, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up because it has some really good songs on it, and I don't have this one in the collection. So I'm probably going to open it up, or I will look for a nice copy that's open for $4 or $5, or maybe even less on Discogs, and keep this one sealed. Makes a lot more sense that way, don't you think? Same here. I did have a copy of this one, but I could not pass this up for $6. Sealed copy of the Judds, River of Time, from it's probably that 87 range as well. No, 1989, a little bit later, a lot harder to find. So this has some really good songs on it. Young Love, one of the most popular Judds songs. Great song. Young Love, that one is one of my favorites. So glad to have that sealed copy to keep in the collection. And then this is the last one that I'm going to show you from that store. They had some really great stuff. And I'll just tell you, this one wasn't $5, but it is a near mint, all around beautiful copy of Garth Brooks' third album, Rope in the Wind. It's great. And of course, they've got it cardboard backed. This is a club issue. I'm not sure if it's Columbia House or BMG off the top of my head, but I'll go ahead and pull it out and show you guys just how gorgeous it is. I mean, it's just a great copy. Like I said, all around near mint, gorgeous, beautiful. Does it say if it's... Yeah, this is a Columbia House copy. So there you have it. I have a couple copies of this. They do make this in a, with the black issue, and then the full bleed cover as well. And I have both of those, but I could not pass this one up. To be honest with you, if you guys out there that are in the know, that are country fans or country collectors, you know what this album sells for online. Let's just say I got it for about a third of the price at a record store, which is great. It's always awesome. So I wasn't going to let that sit there. Moving right along, excuse me. I hate this fall weather. While the colors are great, it's just that messes with your allergies, and everything's just terrible. Enough complaining, enough bitching. So that was from the first record store I hit on Saturday morning. And you know what? I need to pause there because some of these came from that record store as well. These and those came from the other one. Okay, so I asked if he had, just as I always do when I go in any record store, I ask if they have any 8-tracks. I usually get laughed out of the place, but I'm telling you, here lately, they don't laugh near as much or near as hard. They still laugh, but they don't laugh near as long or as hard. But he had some 8-tracks in a box for $1 a piece underneath a table. So here is Dolly Parton, the best of Dolly Parton. Great copy here. Some great stuff. Jolene, I Will Always Love You, things like that on here. Good copy. Of course, I've already replaced the splices on most of these, and I listened to these already. Here's one that I don't see very often. It's not a super late release. It's from like 1983 or 84, but Charlie Daniels Band, A Decade of Hits. I don't see this one very often. Maybe my 8-track guys can help me out with this, but for $1, matter of fact, I wouldn't have cared if it was $5. I wasn't going to leave it set there. So there you go. Charlie Daniels Band, Decade of Hits. Moving right along. Kenny Rogers in the first edition. Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town. Love that, that yellow cart there. Kind of cool, kind of different. Here we go. MSG, Little Michael Schenker Group. Love the, again, the royal blue, nice blue cart. Hard rock and heavy metal carts are getting, 8-tracks are getting hard to find. And they do demand a little bit more of a premium. Nazareth, Expect No Mercy. I have a copy of this, but nothing anywhere near this clean. So I was glad to get this, especially for $1. And then these were super nice additions. Led Zepp, Presence. I wish this had the slip cover with it. That's the only thing missing from this. Because, there is no artwork on the cover. These came with a slip cover that had the artwork on the cover. For $1, though, I'm not going to complain. And again, here we go. Now, this one does have the artwork, and this is In Through the Outdoor, Led Zeppelin. So those were steals for $1. And then they had this this case of 4 country carts. It is, as you can see, I've already went through and replaced and repaired the splice and timed them. It's just the Nashville sound. It's a country compilation, but these were double LPs. So these, the thing for me, for those of you that don't know, I make custom carts, and these are timed just about perfectly to make. I've got a really cool project that I'm going to make out of these. These are about 56 to 60 minutes per cart, and just wait till you see what I've got in store for these 4 carts. So it was the first store. Let's move along. We're at 17 minutes. Trying to keep this under 20, but it's probably not going to happen. So the second store, Neil Young, Zuma, Neil Young and Crazy Horse. I'm sorry for those of you hardcore Neil Young fans. You know that over the past my time here in the VC, last couple 3 years, I have said my fair share of hate, or thrown my fair share of hate around for Neil Young. Over the last year or so, I have come to realize that there's a lot of his stuff that I do actually like, and this is one of those albums. It's so chill, it's so laid back. Love Cortez the Killer. Some of the other songs on here, because I came home, cleaned this, and spun it, just absolutely loved it. The whole second side is unbelievable. The first side, there's some good stuff, but I probably listened to the second side 2 or 3 times when I came home. Loved it. Glad to pick that up. That is it's not an original press. This is I already logged it into Discogs. I believe, and I mean, it's gorgeous. I'll let you guys see just how clean it is. This is a late 70s reissue. Still, still brings $15-20, especially in this VG Plus condition. It's really nice addition to the collection. This is one that I don't see that often, and I had to pick it up because I think I only have one in the collection. I was going to see which one was going to be better. But this is Leonard Skinner, Best of the Rest. It's a comp from the early 80s. Some of Skinner's stuff that you don't see too much on their greatest hits comps. I've Been Your Fool, Gotta Go, I'm a Country Boy, Double Trouble, Working for MCA, Call Me the Breeze, I Never Dreamed, and T for Texas. Great little album by Skinner. Always loved that cover too. Then here's one. I was talking with Mitch the other night. I am doing, finally going to do my series of important albums that I've never heard. And this is one of those. It is the Plastic Ono Band, from 1970, maybe? 69 or 70? I'm going to say 70. Got BL's initials on there. Thank you, BL, for that. The record inside is in great condition. There is some moderate shelf wear on here, but for $6, I wasn't going to leave this sitting. Glad to have that, and I'm going to add that to the stack of things that I'm going to be listening to and reviewing here. So be looking forward to that. John Cougar, Nothing Matters and What If It Did. Here's one, some early Cougar that I did not have in my collection. I think this has Ain't Even Done With the Night. Yep. So there you go. Some early Cougar. You know, cheap stuff, cheap finds. This one I was really stoked to find. Some later Whitney. And this has I Want to Dance With Somebody. Maybe that's the I know that's the big one. I just don't, I'm not too familiar with the rest of the stuff, but that's the one that we all want this for. But it's just Whitney, self-titled, from 1987. Don't see it very often, at least I don't see it very often, didn't have it in the collection. Glad to add that one as well. And then the last LP from the record store was a sealed copy of Quiet Riot QR3. Those of you that follow my videos know that at the last St. Louis Records show, I ended up getting an original first pressing Mental Health sealed. And so now I just need to get Condition Critical, and I will have all 3 sealed copies. So wasn't going to pass this one up, saw it on the wall at a very decent price, less than 10 bucks, snagged it up. And also at that record shop, I asked about 8 tracks, and he said, yes, there's a huge bin over in the corner, the big blue totes, just full of cassettes and 8 tracks. You'll have to dig through. But once again, he had $1 each marked on these, and these I went through there. They did not have anything of any substance really as far as titles, but I got these just for donor carts. Love this tan cart, Carpenter's cart here, and I went for clean carts. Didn't care what was on them because these are going to end up being custom projects. But I got a couple Carpenter's tan carts. I always like these gray, and these are this kind, this 3-tab, is always easy to get into. But it's a Rod Stewart. It's got Do You Think I'm Sexy on it. I might end up keeping this one because it does have some good music on it. Love, love, love this color of this cart. And you guys know I'm an Elvis fan, but and some of you may think it's sacrilege to go ahead and kill this Elvis cart, but I'm going to, because this color is going to end up something really cool on it. Again, this is the color I wasn't too crazy about, but it is a double LP, so it's going to fit something. Something will end up going on it. And then this nice pink George Carlin. Love these pink and the lime green ones too. Turquoise, pink, lime green. So anyway, $1 a piece on those. Couldn't pass those up. I'm going to fly through these real quick. Just going to show you this. This is a huge box. Almost lost them. A huge box full of Maxell 80 and 90 and 60, 80, and 90 minute blanks. Again, $1 a piece is what he had on him. Whenever I ended up checking out, he ended up giving me all of the 8 tracks, which was awesome. So all those 8 tracks were free. And then one last thing I wanted to show you guys. This is not for me, but hey, Brandon, look what I got for you, buddy. Some 7-inch tapes. These are all awesome, in great condition. Let me just show you. All right here. Ready to be recorded on, Brandon. So there you go for your reel. I went ahead and picked those up for you. I got you a handful of those. So those are for my buddy Brandon, Mr. Hall of Fame. I think that's everything in this video, guys. 24 minutes. I'm sorry for rambling on so long. But for those of you that stuck with me, thank you so much for hanging in there. I do have a couple other videos that I'm getting ready to tape, so be looking for those. Guys, as always, thanks for tuning in. Take care. Peace.